Alright. We got a fresh shot today. The scene has currently nothing in it. Well, obviously my props are in it, but there's no keyframes or anything. Haven't even posed the first frame. So, let's see how far we get today. Let's do it.
Well, show me what you got then. the night, the city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on. Open your eyes and see the people chanting, slowly falling apart. The silence causing an earthquake. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling higher, and I know I can be taller. Shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on.
The melodies in my soul.
Okay.
Watch my life pass me by, never knowing where I belong in a web of love and lies. As you string me along, and I can't breathe, I can't see. I'm losing sight of everything. I feel the walls closing in, closing in. Am I falling apart? Oh, I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free. Think I'm falling apart. Oh, I just wanna be free, free. watch my life pass me by, never knowing where I belong in a web of love and lies. As you string me along, and I can't breathe, I can't see, I'm losing sight of everything. I feel the walls closing in, closing in. I feel I'm falling apart. I feel I'm falling apart.
If time is all we have, I want to spend it right. No fear of what's to come. Just hold me close tonight. Behold, pull through every door. It's something more. If we get one chance to live this life, why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we, why are we, why are we, why are we still killing time? If time is all we have, I want to spend it right. No fear of what's to come. Just hold me close tonight. Behold, pull through a hidden door. It's something more. If we get one chance to live this life, why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we, why are we, why are we, why are we still killing time?
Okay, I will be right back. I should run to the washroom. I'm back. Taco Lord with the subscribe. Thank you, fam. You're a real one. All right.
I'm on fire.
Question is, do we want to ease this out?
Just like you never broke my heart, like you never said the words, two worlds never further apart. Go, life will never be the same, but I will keep on
Hard to say yet.
finding a way. I move on to get to my brighter day.
Oi. What's happening?
Well, show me what you got then.
Oh.
But in the fading wind, I heard 1,000 dreams collide. Will you make it back again? Will you make it back again? And in those tired eyes, I saw 1,000 worlds collapse. We'll make it back again. We'll make it
Probably gonna do an impact frame right here.
But in the fading wind, I heard 1,000 dreams collide. Will you make it back again? Will you make it back
Ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah.
There's a pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Brave is the army that bands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind of cancerous. How we breathe vapors, green got us bleeding in streets for cheap paper. Assemble the masses, melt the plastic, compound, realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the system's unmasked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. The power with the power, we charge Jurassic. Nation T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes, take back the atlas.
Bring the madness.
Bring the madness. There's a pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all.
Brave is the army that bands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind of cancerous. How we breathe vapors, green got us bleeding in streets for cheap paper.
Assemble the masses, melt the plastic, compound, realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the system's unmasked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. The power with the power, we charge Jurassic. Nation T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes, take back the atlas.
Bring the madness. Bring the madness. Bring the madness.
Bring the madness. Bring the madness.
Flowers that bloom in the darkness. It's a sighting that is rare to come across. Nobody seems to have noticed that the power that could be bestowed is lost riding through the twilight. This armory protects my heart. Lay down, staring at the sunset, and I wonder how it all came down to this one moment. Think of all my dedication, and I wonder how it all came down to this one moment. Sometimes when nothing's going right, I wish that I could go back in time. Back in time. Tonight I feel the tide moving, and this is bigger than me. Now I need to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. Be right back.
Lay down, staring at the sunset, and I wonder how it all came down to this one moment. Think of all my dedication, and I wonder how it all came down to this one moment. Sometimes when nothing's going right, I wish that I could go back in time. Back in time.
chased after the sun and the fading light of day. Watch the broken shores slip away. Hold me close till I hit the ground. Never know that the only sound is my heartbeat like a hummingbird. Hear my heartbeat like a hummingbird, like a hold me close till I hit the ground. Never know that the only sound is my heartbeat like a hummingbird. Hear my heartbeat like a hummingbird, like a
Why? Why?
But no matter how I try, you still won't look me in the eye. Are you afraid you'll fall into the darkness that's inside? 'Cause my arms are open wide. Hold me close till we hit the ground. Never know that the only sound is my heartbeat like a hummingbird. Hear my heartbeat. Well, show me what you got then. Like a
Thanks, Ishan. Appreciate you.
time is fleeting, you say. When I grab your hand, you turn away. We chased after the sun and the fading light of
Thanks so much, Andra. Appreciate you.
the broken shores slip away.
can feel it, I can feel it. It's pressing down on me and I can barely breathe. Oh, can you feel it? And I'm surrounded everywhere. I can feel it, I can feel it. It's creeping up on me, but what I just can't see. Or say you feel it. I'm falling into this unknown. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? There's nothing I can do but to give in to the blame. And the bass kicks in, and the bass kicks in, and the bass kicks in. I can take it, and I lose control. I can shake it, can't fight it anymore. In this almighty world, I'm falling into this unknown. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? There's nothing I can do but to give in to the blame. Kicks in, and the bass kicks in, and the bass kicks in, and the bass kicks in. I can take it, and I lose control. I can shake it, I can feel it. Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can do but to give in to the blame. And then the bass, and then the bass, and then the bass kicks in, and then the bass kicks in, and then the bass kicks in, and then the bass kicks in. I can take it, and I lose control. I can shake it, and as the crowd begins to fade, it's left me breathless, left me helpless, wanting more. But just as quickly as it came, it disappears and I'm left lying on the floor. But I still feel it.
Thanks so much, Jamstastic. Appreciate you. I had a lot of fun with that cartoon, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. I am glad you like it. As you can see, there is more stuff on the way. Yeah, you like that? Dude, you're gonna love this shot. Hold up. I actually, I don't know if this will play properly in Premiere. Is that an exported version? Bup, 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 bup. I don't. Maybe it'll work. Yeah. The shot, though, we have some crazy lines. I want to get like even crazier with the lines. The action lines are really fun to put together, and I want to put together some really silly ones. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
perfection. You turn away and never look in my direction. So if I keep it down and never let them up instead, will it all be worth it in the end? But now it's all about this beauty and perfection. I used to think that I could look past your
Jaded side.
Sick of getting on my knees and begging you, please. My heart breaks from the way you look at me.
Honest question for anyone out there. Is there a world, do you think, where you could have an animation to this song and it not be the most cringiest edge fest ever? I don't see a world. The song is too edgy, but it's so good. It'd be so fun, but it's like too edgy, bro. You know? Oh, it would be so fun. Just be like certified edginess. And you bring it back down to this for some good old dialogue. Build it back up.
I tried to silence all the noise of your deception. I am the storm, I'll find some reconciliation. But all you wanna do is keep me feeling out of breath. Do you really think anyone's impressed? You're burying demons, all just skeletons and closet walls, waiting for the day to break out and watch you fall. And while you drown inside your high tide of misery, my heart breaks from the way you go.
Look at how drop. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Had a lot of fun with Ace Soda. It's not short of, just shy of problems. But the idea is every time I put something out, I kind of take the things that didn't work and remove them, and take the things that did work and heighten them, and try to fix stuff. So I'm happy with how Ace Soda turned out. And then just trying to like optimize, you know, what worked or what didn't work, make it work, and what was really good and accent it, you know. Yeah, her racket was a lot of fun. So inspiration for the models. When I make stuff, I try not to go full like I want it to be this based on this. So I don't really have like an inspiration reference for this or any particular animation. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but my typical like interests in terms of like inspiration, I really like Hiroyuki Imaishi's works, which would be like Kill la Kill, Promare. He also directed Gurren Lagann and Cyberpunk Edge Runners. He's my favorite director. He's got some projects that I don't love. I didn't love Edge Runners, and I don't love Panty and Stalking. But I really like Promare and Kill la Kill. And Gurren Lagann's okay. He also did a lot of work on like Fooly Cooly, the original one. Space Patrol Luluco. Studio Trigger. He works for those guys. Not all their stuff. Sometimes other people direct, like SSS, Gridman, brand new Animal. Not a huge fan of every project of the studio, but I like his stuff. Give me a Studio Trigger vibe. Heck yeah. Yeah, so that animation would have been tennis, and this one is tetherball. So we have like a tetherball here. Hey. Yeah. 6. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Premiere specifically? Yeah, Premiere's my favorite movie. It's probably... I'm in the middle of rewatching Kill la Kill. It's been a few years. I remember enjoying Kill la Kill much more than Premiere. And so far, I'm only a few episodes into the rewatch. I am enjoying it. But I want to kind of refresh my memory because it's been a little while. Yeah, I really like Promare. Every time I watch Promare, I don't even finish the movie. I can't even get through it. There's no way it's going to let me show Promare on YouTube, right? Come on, YouTube. You can do it. My Patreon does not have any tutorials. My Patreon does have like models you can download. I don't know if you use Maya, but they are in the MA format. So if you use Blender or something, you'll have to find a way to convert them. You're so cute. Thank you. I can give you a quick little, I don't know if you want a quick little rundown as to how I do things, but I can also do that. I do that on stream all the time because a lot of people that come by the stream are people that are interested in actually like learning animation. So we go over stuff all the time. Use Blender. It's literally what I'm about to show you is not going to have anything different from Blender for the most part. Just give me 1 sec for this to finish saving. as can be. Your love's killing me. Okay, quick crash course. So, gonna just go over literally how I do everything in terms of character from start to finish. It's that sounds like a lot, but it's gonna take me not long. Basically, we start with a model. I just purely model, like, obviously you can start from scratch from your square and then you model stuff out. Sometimes I can steal stuff, like I steal hand frameworks a lot from like my other models. Like if I've already done an animation and I have a hand, and then I bring the hand in and I'm like, what about the hand gave me problems last time? And then I fix them and then I use it again. Same with sometimes legs. I reuse like this knee joint hierarchy a lot for just the model itself. Once it's all modeled, I rig it. We have joints here. I do use roll bones for the arms and legs, which basically means like if my shoulder twists like this roll bone is twisting not very much, so the shoulder geometry like holds a lot better, whereas this is rotating a lot. And the same thing happens for when the wrist is moving. We have roll bones. Same thing for the legs. We have roll bones so that things move appropriately. This one's not painted very well. It doesn't really matter. The question that I get the most about my animations is how I do the shading, because people think that there's some trick as to how I get the shading. A lot of people try to get like anime or toon shading out of Maya or Blender, and they don't understand how. And it couldn't be more simple. Simply, I have things unwrapped in the most basic form possible. You can see it's really not that crazy. We have like the... how do I turn off this stupid blue? There we go. We have like the side of the hat separated, and it's just got one color plugged into it. The eyebrows just have one color plugged into it on this texture here. The eyes are also unwrapped here. We have like the eye socket, which is just like white. And then we have like the pieces of the hair that are different colors, and they're plugged into literally just a texture with colors on them. You could apply individual shaders to all these groups of geometry if you don't want to UV unwrap it, but it'll obviously be a little bit more graphically intensive because you have like a bunch of shaders instead of a single. This is just a single surface shader with a texture plugged in. In my scenes, there are no lights, there are no shadows. This shadow that his head is casting over his neck, simply this piece of the UV shell has a darker shade applied to it. This is a double-edged sword. If I want to get dynamic shadows for effect, I have a hard time. If I want to get dynamic lighting, I have to basically do things manually. So the fact that like there's a shadow being cast in this wrinkle of the jacket, those two pieces of geometry are simply applied a different color. The same goes for the back of the legs, under the knees, under the shoes. It's all just UV unwraps and colors plugged in. Here's the fragments of, I was going to put a logo on the shoe. I ended up not doing that, so that's just a fragment of time sitting there. So there's no lights, no shadows, no nothing. There are times in my animations where we have a level of spectralness. Let's find a good example. So here you see like this little explosion effect. This is just pieces of geometry. This is just a bunch of single planes with a few vertices, colored yellow. I'm moving them manually with keyframes, and then to get the spectral glow, I'm just adding a blur and a screen filter in Premiere after the fact. So it's not like, it's kind of like movie magic. It seems complicated, but it really, it's a lot of just hard, raw, manual crap. What about the face rig? Because I want to use drivers, but I'm not sure. So the face rig, also not that complicated. I don't don't know what they're called in Blender, but they're called blend shapes in Maya. You can see there's no joints for the eyebrows. There's a few joints for the mouth, which I use to kind of help me move things around when I need to for talking scenes. The teeth and tongue are just meshes that are bound to the constraints of the face. I have controllers plugged into these joints so I can make the mouth open with this joint here. And then I can move the lips around accordingly when I need to. In terms of everything else, the eyes are literally just pieces of geometry. And they're parented to these curves, which I've been moving around. So if I want to make the character look up, they'll look up with these. And then I can move their eyes around. And then both the eyes are bound to this guy, so I can move that around independently. So no eye joints, no eyebrow joints. What do? I use blend shapes. So I have a blend shape. I have a controller here. This is probably a better example for a blink. Basically, to do a blend shape, you duplicate this and you manipulate it, and then you can scrub in between. You can scrub in between one and the other as long as your meshes are the same. So now I'm, using a blend shape to move things around. So what I did is I did that for a blink. I did that for I basically have like a bunch of different facial expressions that are plugged into these controllers, but they're all using blend shapes. So I have a bunch of base ones to help move stuff around at the start. And then what I'm doing is I'm going into the animation and I'm adding new blend shapes. So here, his eye wasn't quite open enough, so it was clipping over his pupil. So I added a blend shape just real quick to get that out of the way. So now I don't need any joints or any face rig. I can just use blend shapes to move things around appropriately. There's no exceptions for any other animation I've done. All of Ace Soda was done using all of these strategies, all the exact same. The Patreon lets you open scenes and stuff, but I can quickly just zip over a few what would have been some weirder ones. So here in this shot, we have cracks in the wall and a bunch of shadows being cast by the vending machine and dirt and debris and stuff. This is all just cold, hard geometry. All of this is just modeled in with different colors attached to them. This stuff is all blurred after the fact. All these shadows are just different colored geometry. There's another shot that I can think of where she's grabbing the... Yeah, so here, these container of balls and stuff is casting shadows and things on the ground that are moving around. I'm just adding pieces of geometry in to be shadows, and I'm keying them manually. Nothing crazy. It's the same thing with a lot of my... I don't know if I have any great examples off the top of my head, but a lot of my smears would all be done with blend shapes as well. Blend shapes are duplicated meshes. Yeah, so here will be a great example. We obviously need some smears in here to get things moving. So I've used blend shapes to stretch his arm out when it needs to be. Same with here. And then here we have duplicates of his arm to kind of fill those spaces to have our blur working properly. Same thing when the racket's flying up, we just have a few duplicates. Here it spins and I think it stretches a little bit. So here it's bending. And that's all using blend shapes the same way we did the eyes. I just duplicate the racket, bend the handle, add a blend shape, key in between. This is just an extra piece of hand geometry. It's kind of silly looking at it when you know the tricks. It all feels kind of not cheap, but you see through the seams, So here this racket blur is bending zoop, and then it like connects. So now if we watch it back fast, you know, everything's flowing pretty nicely and has lots of like in-betweens to kind of make things have lots of life. It's not perfect. The shot's not perfect. Obviously nothing's perfect. But like here's another great shot that could be like kind of weird. She receives the ball and there's all kinds of like effects that you'd think would be done in like Adobe After Effects, but like all this is done in Maya. So it's like a random piece of geometry, random piece of geometry, random piece of geometry. These are all just like triangles that I've just keyed into existence. The shot is sweet. I'm actually pretty proud of this one. And then like just like electric weird feedback. It's all just made of, there's no extra software. It's just made of, you know, just made of geometry. And you were talking about how you liked the lines. I call it a line tunnel. It's also not that complicated. The lines. This was one of the hardest things for me to learn a trick for. So free super value. What am I doing? Importing lines? Where? Oh, audio. The line tunnel. Okay, so I call it a line tunnel. It is not complicated at all. It is a cylinder. So I have backface culling on, which you can definitely do in Blender somehow. Basically, if you have a cylinder, you can see like either side of it, like so. But if you turn on something called backface culling, you won't be able to see through. You'll be able to see through the back of the faces. I've reversed the faces so that the front of the normals, like the front of the faces are on the inside and the backs are on the outside, so that it's never in the way of the camera. And then I've just simply applied a texture to it. That's just a picture of a bunch of lines. I don't know if I'll actually be able to show you the picture very well. Oops. Stop clicking the wrong thing, you buffoon. I can't. Okay. Basically, it's a picture of a bunch of lines. And then all it's doing is spinning. So I create a key here. I create a key here. And then I make it linear. And then we have a bunch of lines flying around. Maya crashed. It didn't like that. That's okay. So the lines are super simple. If you try to rotate a squished cylinder, obviously it'll flip-flop. It'll be like this, and then it'll flip to being like that. And so then like the lines are not going to work unless it's a perfect circle, which obviously doesn't work with a rectangular camera. So I have the circular cylinder inside a group, and then the group is squished to fit the camera. And then the cylinder rotates appropriately within. That's basically every tip and trick for the most part. There's some obviously more obscure stuff, and it takes a bit of practice to use it all right to make it look good. Excuse me. But that's it. Nothing special. Nothing crazy. Nothing. I shouldn't say nothing special. Nothing crazy. It's all cool. It's all useful, valid tricks and strategies and skills. They're just. It's nothing inaccessible. You can do it all. Just got to do it. Emperor's Eve spinning like a top was an amazing example. Heck yeah. Oh, yeah. We're spinning like a top. I know exactly what shot you're talking about. The effect reminds me of Steven Universe a bit. You use a lot of it. It fits his style so well. Thanks. What about impact frames? Impact frames. I know what shot you're talking about with the Ace Soda. With Zav spinning. It's like over here somewhere. That's one of the coolest shots, is like when he's like spinning it around. Yeah, this shot's cool. Impact frames. The best impact frame in Ace Soda, in my opinion, is at the very beginning. This shot rocks too. Impact frame. Super easy. Takes a little bit of time, but worth it for how easy it is. So now that we've talked about how the scene works, you can totally see how this scene is going. It's just a bunch of 3D models, blend shapes, geometry, and stuff. The only difference when we reach this impact frame, my 3D model's here, 3D model of the racket, 3D model of the ball, Nothing changes. Once we go to here, this is just another keyframe where the racket has moved into this position. The racket gets applied a black texture. The background gets applied a black texture. Everything gets a black texture. I duplicated the lines and applied them a yellow or a white texture. I created some geometry that's white and parented it to the racket so that as it moves appropriately. These lines are just like the other lines we talked about. They're just pieces of geometry hanging in 3D space. This ball just gets like hidden, and I create a sphere of geometry with a little outline of geometry. And then this is like a two-colored, it's just the kapow, sort of like the impact thingy. It's just a piece of geometry parented to the racket, and the edge, the final edge of faces is colored white, and then I give it like a spectral glow in like a video editing software after the fact, and then some sound design to kind of help accentuate it. But it's all, there's a lot of time. Ooh. What? Yeah, thank you. A lot of times, you know, animation is drawn, and then impact frames are just like a different picture. It's the same. I understand like 43% of that, but when I get there, I'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll start to it. That sounds like crazy. You'll start to do it, and you'll immediately start going, oh, okay, like this is what I would do. Like I can honestly, if you like, it's gonna take me 2 seconds to start putting together like a mock impact frame. I don't think I'm gonna do an impact frame. I don't think I'm gonna do an impact frame for this shot, but in theory, we'd have an impact frame right here. So I'd render this all out. Once it's done being rendered, like let's say the shot was done. Once it's done being rendered, I'd save a duplicate called shot 120i for impact frame, in case we mess something up in the first shot. We need to go back and we need to alter it, like in case whatever, like in case like this is gonna make a messy scene, which I don't love. So we could go back and fix it. So now we have our character doing this, and now we're gonna just take everything in the scene. Main tune. I'm gonna give him all a shader that is just black. Boop. And then my background. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna give them a shader that is black. Boom. Now we have a purely black scene. It's all black, but everything's still there, right? All of our geometry is still here. It's just shaded black. So now what we can do is we can start going into our scene again and start to create some details that are white. Example, like I can take this line and I could make this white. You know what I mean? We're starting to see, you know, how things could work. I can mess with it. I can move things around. And now the cool part is, like, obviously this isn't obviously like. I'm just gonna do it for argument's sake. Let's just say that these are what we wanted to be white. Obviously, this is gonna look like poo because I'm just quickly doing it. But let's just say we were happy with that as our impact frame. Cool part, all of our geometry still has all these keyframes applied to it. It's all still here. So now, our impact frame, like let's say we had like a slow motion bit where I had like a really long amount of time between these two scrubbing these two frames. Yeah, we could key between them and slowly you know, we'd have a big impact frame. It'd be all fancy and beautiful. The teeth and the eye missed the black shader train, so that's why they look like that. But that would be impact frames. So then in your video editing software, we already have the original shot colors rendered out, And then we have these new shot colors rendered out, and we're just going to cut the old shot and put in this new shot where we want the impact frame. And that's it. It's easier, obviously, for me to say, like, it's simple, and then quickly do all that and be like, this looks like crap, but you get it. But once you start to do that part, you know, you've got to practice, and you'll get to understand like what you're looking at and be like, oh, like I can see how this is going to turn out. I did a similar thing. There's one shot that I regret from it's called Ultra. I don't want to say regret, but there's a shot that I did here for ultrasonic overhand that has an impact frame, and I don't love the impact frame because I kind of like got it wrong. That impact frame is gangster. That's one of my favorite shots. This is one of my favorite shots from ultrasonic overhand. He spins around and he throws the ball, and it's all like this impact frame. That one's sweet. That's one of my favorites. This impact frame, not so much, and there's a reason. The impact frame itself looks fine. Like that looked great, but when he throws the ball has an impact, and then there's like this like hole, and then it explodes. There's a bunch of light coming out of this hole because the ball has like so much energy, and then it explodes. But the light of the pins is on the wrong side, so the ball goes in, boom, and then explodes. I wish that I had put these things of light flipped. I wish the pin was like this instead of like that, because the light is being cast, so technically this white would be the shadows. It's just kind of silly. It's backwards. I didn't think about it at the time, and then it doesn't look that bad in practice when it's flying by. But I wish that I'd flipped those. If you went and watched through this whole animation, it's not nearly as good as Ace Soda, but it was the same philosophy. There was stuff that I didn't do right on this animation that I wanted to fix or remove, and then stuff that did look good that I wanted to like heighten and make, you know, better. That impact frame, this shot's my favorite from ultrasonic overhand. When he crashes down, all the animations like really like exaggerated. You understand what's going on, and then like really cool impact frames. The sound design really makes it work. As a whole, this animation has problems, especially with color. Like, especially in like the first act, like a lot of things like wash out. This was the biggest problem with ultrasonic overhand that I needed to fix, is like the colors are just so awful that you can't really see what's going on. It lacks that contrast that I was talking about. In an effort to make things like solid colors, I kind of like overdid it with the colors that were similar. So the difference obviously between like how easy this scene is to read versus this scene is to read is like night and day. So I'm trying to get better at that. And yeah, I don't know. Getting better, getting there. Looks great regardless. It's just a little nit to get that. Yeah, for sure. I still like, you know, I still like ultrasonic overhand and Ace Soda, but I want to get better. Speaking of which, this shot's at a pretty good spot for me to call it a day on this. We had a blank scene before we started this. So over the past like couple hours, we're in a pretty good spot. I want to take my eyes off of it and come back to it later and see what I can do to heighten it. Just need to relax the brain a bit. So I'm gonna kill this stream. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks Jamstastic for hanging out, chatting animation. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube because I try to stream a good amount, and you'll see when new animations come out. Yeah, go for it. It's been fun though. I just need to. I find it helpful to like stop, go away from the animation, come back, and then I'll be like, oh, it's flowing great still. Or if in half an hour I come back and I kind of had tunnel vision and I'm like, this looks like poo, then I'll have like fresh eyes, because now I'm going to start to go to a point where I'll have made some stuff irreversible, and obviously that's no bueno. Do you have a basic model in the Patreon that I could build upon? I don't have anything that's not in the .ma format. If it's an interest, I can put some stuff in there that would be OBJ, like an object, but it would be just the mesh. I don't know if that's helpful at all. Yeah, if I did an OBJ, like it would still be UV unwrapped, but it wouldn't be... like you'd have the texture, you'd have the UV unwrap, you just wouldn't have the rig. You wouldn't have like the bones. Like I could do a ST, is it ST something? If you just want the model, then it's easy. But if you want like the rig, then it's harder. I can convert Maya to Blender, that's fine. Yeah, in that case, like every time an animation's done, everything gets uploaded to the Patreon. So on the Patreon, it should be on the Patreon, but on the Patreon there should be like the rigs for all the characters from Ace Soda. Once Super Turbo Power Punch Maxed is done, then that will be on there. Patreon, yeah, Ace Soda files. So this is the file, this is the drive that's on the what do you call it? The Patreon. And it has rigs. It has... yeah, it's got the rigs for Emma, Tim, all 5 of the colored characters, Zav, all that stuff. A rigged model that has no texture. I just color it and design it myself. Yeah, for sure. I have stuff in the .ma format, which is Maya. And it has all the textures and everything's in there as well. If you go on there and you find you're missing something, or you need, I don't know, like you need, I need the texture. There's a texture that's not there. Just DM me on Patreon and I'll make sure that everything gets in there. I'm looking right now, like Emma, like in the Emma folder, it has the emma.ma file and then a textures folder for her head, legs, racket, and torso texture. And then you can open those in whatever software you want and color it up however you want or whatever. Yeah, everything is there. I'm noticing that there's no scene files. I'll add those soon, so that if anybody wants to open scenes, that's something I want. I want everything to be on Patreon, and there's no scene files like of an actual shot, but I'll add those today. So yeah, no problem. Thank you for your support. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. Bye.